Cristy, and I want to tell you a little bit about Protostar Education. Protostar Education is not a very well known ESL company. It is still very new. It's within its first year. I started with the company back in December to add on a second ESL company. Um, I am still with Magic Ears. I love, 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 love them. All positive things to say. And I'm happy to help you there as well. But I am an interviewer for Protostar as well as a trainer. And when I do interviews and trainings, one thing that a lot of applicants will say to me is that they could not find very much information about Protostar online. There's maybe one YouTube video, and of course, the actual Protostar website, which I will link in the comment or the video description below. But I just wanted to share with you, as an interviewer, a few things about the company. It's a very special company. I have really enjoyed working for this company. There are a couple of things that make the company unique and different from others out there. So for me, it feels like I am teaching with two completely different companies, and that's a good thing. The variety is good for me. They have completely different models and methods and missions, so I don't feel like I'm competing against one or the other. So Protostar was not founded to be a company. It was founded by just moms and dads who were looking for something for their own children, and they were looking for something that was really strong in phonics, but also had a social aspect of being the 1v4 or the one teacher to up to four students platform. So they didn't want something one-on-one or a private tutoring, but they also wanted consistency with their teacher and the students. So the same teacher, the same students, every week. So that is something that makes them unique, is that they went on the search for that. They couldn't find it. So they started their own or had their own curriculum created by US teachers. And it started gaining popularity, and they became a company from that. So they are growing very slowly. Slow and steady wins the race, because they are not just trying to go, go, go and have this big explosion. They worked really hard in the first year to get kinks worked out, and it's just a really lovely company to work for. Another thing that makes them unique is that they are based in Seattle, Washington. That is their main base. That is where one of the co-founders lives, and then also the lady who is in charge of communicating with teachers. So our communication is really good, and that is not something that is that you can always say about ESL companies. The communication is always spot on the Pacific time zone over there. So I say over there because I'm Eastern time zone, but it's still very very different from the 12-hour difference that I have in Beijing with other ESL companies. So those are just some basic things about the company. They are really strong in their phonics curriculum. So they teach phonics, and then they have there's 54 lessons there, and then they have 54 lessons in reading and 54 lessons in writing, and then they also have a little grouping of 12 lessons for children who aren't quite ready for phonics yet, that just need an introduction to being online and basic letter sounds. So, yeah, that's basic information about the company. I love teaching for the company. I love the classes. Another thing that makes them unique, looking around because I have all these little things, is that they are 40-minute classes. So the very basic pay is $16 for a 40-minute class. So that is very different from a lot of companies out there that have 25 or 30-minute classes. There are 40 minutes. The time flies by. The slides flow very well through that. They also offer up to $6 per class in bonuses, which they are very generous with. So you can make, for an average, up to $33 per hour teaching with Protostar. Now, their hours are a little limited. They are Monday through Saturday, and these are the times available Beijing time. So you would need to convert here in the Eastern time. This would just be 7 a.m. Of the next morning, or the morning before, because Beijing time the morning of, oh, I'm messing myself up. This would be 7 a.m. for me, while it is 7 p.m. in Beijing. They are 12 hours ahead of Eastern time. So you would just have to convert depending on your time. So this actually works out really well for me because I'm still able to teach mini classes with my other company and then in the morning with them. So, and another thing is, as they add students, they're adding teachers. So there is work. They have a really nice balance there for that. So, what are the basic requirements? I have those for you. Boop. They want only native US or teachers from Canada. They really want a neutral North American accent. That's very important to the parents. So it's very important to the company. This is something, I have a little star here, that is unique to this particular company. They actually really want a minimum of 1 year of in classroom experience. And that's because they are wanting a more in classroom feel for their students, not just a quick after school thing. So they're really strict about this. Now, that can come in different forms, and you can ask the company about that. For me personally, I have some experience teaching, being a substitute teacher. I have experience working in a private school in different ways. We have teachers who were preschool teachers, so there are other ways to get this than just having a teacher degree, a teaching degree. But they are really, really wanting that. And then they do require a bachelor's degree or to show that you will be graduating within 9 months with a bachelor's degree. And you do have, and this is China, this is a law in China now, you do have to have an ESL certification, either a TEFL or a TESOL. I can help you find one of those really inexpensively and a really quick program if you just ask me and let me know. Specifically, there's a TESOL on Groupon that the price fluctuates from like $5 to $19 to $29, and it's a really quick program that you can do in 1 to 3 days, depending on how much time you give it, and that completely counts. So those are the basic requirements for them. Now, very quickly, what the application process looks like, I will post below the link to their website, and from the website you can apply. I do not have a referral code. You would just put my name in there as being referred by me. Teacher Cristy. My full name will be down in the description, but because I am an interviewer and a trainer with them, they know me well, and if you put my name down, it'll probably get a little extra special look on it, so maybe give you a little leg up. So make sure to do that, and I can answer any questions for you. So the process is you will submit your application and do an initial screening, and if they think that you look good to move into an interview, then you will be scheduled for an interview. You will get an invitation to do that through an email from one of the teacher interviewers. You'll schedule that. You'll have that interview. It's actually a 40-minute interview. We take our time. We get to know you. We answer lots of questions. And in that interview, you will teach a 10-minute demo, just showing your teaching skills and your personality and how you would approach teaching their curriculum. And then, if that goes well, then within 2 business days, you'll receive an invitation to what they call a test session, which is kind of the same thing again. It's another 40-minute session with a 10-minute demo. This time they will be teaching you on the tools on the platform, like being able to circle and underline and bring students up and down. That's also with another interviewer or trainer. Very similar, and then you'll go through a checklist at the end of that, just making sure that you followed all of the requirements and bottom lines during that, which you will be given beforehand to be able to practice with. So, and then after that, the goal is to go straight into a classroom. Every now and then, a teacher might need a second test session or maybe a little bit of training, but once you pass the interview part, the goal is for you to be a teacher with Protostar. You even go ahead and sign your contract and give them your availability. So you really need to be ready to go when it's time for the test session so that you can move straight into a classroom. So I think I answered all the basic things about Protostar. I really did not want to have a super long video. I wanted this to be kind of quick and to the point. But I hope that it did answer any questions that you had about the company, or maybe you didn't even know about this company. It's definitely a really great company. They really emphasize reading and phonics and learning, and you get to travel with that student along their learning adventure. It's not so much the bells and whistles and being super showy. It's more all about the education, and we want to provide that for these students. So I hope this helped, and happy teaching.